These are the 15 times referees ruined football. And we start with the time a referee kicked down Diego Carlos and gave him a yellow card for good measure. At least this didn't cost them the game, but the next ref arguably cheated Liverpool out on a Premier League trophy. Man City were up 1-0 against Everton until Rodri handballed it in the box.
Edison. Oh, that was the hand.
The decision was clear as day, but the ref didn't give it, and even VAR said no too.
This must be a penalty. He's not giving it.
Man City won the game in a title race where they beat Liverpool by only one single point. In fairness, that was a penalty decision. Our next referee decision had Tottenham fans fuming on the way home. In the 89th minute of a goalless game at Old Trafford, Tottenham midfielder Pedro Mendes saw keeper Roy Carroll off his line and tried his luck. Carroll catches it, then spills it over. He made a horrible mistake, so did the ref.
He's been denied a goal! Carroll has been denied the most embarrassing moment of his career!
Despite the ball clearly going over the line, the ref continued play. This was a disallowed goal. But in our next clip, a ref disallowed a goal made in heaven. Pablo Osvaldo is a possible contender for scoring the greatest ever disallowed goal, and boy did the ref burst his bubble.
It's been disallowed! Unbelievable!
Playing for Roma against Lecce, his team were narrowly winning by 2-1. The ball was crossed into Osvaldo but was delivered behind him, so he went for an audacious bicycle kick. The crowd were enraptured as Osvaldo smashed it right into the back of the net. Osvaldo celebrated, but then heard an all-too-familiar sound.
Gets his sixth goal of this.
The referee blew his whistle and it was disallowed. He was so devastated that he covered his jersey over his head. And when the replay was played back, things got even worse. Footage showed that Osvaldo was more than onside, and this amazing goal should have been allowed.
No way was he offside! A terrible decision from the referee's assistant. Unbelievable decision.
Disallowing such a wonder goal is bad, but blocking a goal with your foot is just as ludicrous. Because in the Mexican League, Cruz Azul were playing against Toluca. Cruz Azul were looking to go up 3-0 when they were one-on-one with the keeper. As the keeper comes out, he missed the ball, and the Cruz Azul striker had to place the ball into an empty net, and the referee followed to make sure it crossed over the line. However, the ball hit the post and bounced back. Another Azul player was in position to take a shot. It was going towards the net, but there was the referee, and as the shot went towards the goal, the ref's heel blocked the shot and it went wide. The Azul players were furious with the ref, and to make it worse, the game ended 2-2. But now we're entering the top 10, and things get even more ridiculous, because at number 10 is a referee who calls a goal, but the ball never crossed the line. In 2008, Watford were up against Reading in the Championship, and a 25-year-old baby-faced and inexperienced referee was in charge. Reading had a corner kick, the ball came in, and there was a bit of a scramble, and Watford cleared the danger. Except the referee seemed to have hallucinated that there was a goal.
He informed the league's youngest referee, 25-year-old Stuart Atwell, roundabout now, through his earpiece, that he had seen the ball cross the line.
There was no possible way that this could have been a goal, so Watford manager A.D. Bothroyd told the ref a few harsh truths.
The players are surrounding the referee and his assistant. I think a goal's been given by Stuart Atwell.
Bothroyd was then sent off and Watford were without a manager. Watford didn't stop and feel sorry for themselves and scored 2 goals to give them a lead. However, a late penalty meant that Reading equalised at 2-2. Giving out goals that should never exist is a fool's errand. But the next decision was one of the most embarrassing referee blunders in Premier League history, because this ref sent off the wrong player. In a tense affair between Arsenal and Chelsea, Eden Hazard was given a shot from close range.
Chelsea can break a game here with Eden Hazard.
This forced an incredible save that Manuel Neuer or Gianluigi Buffon would be proud of. Only problem was, it was saved by Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. So the ref took out his red card. However, the referee directed his card towards Kieran Gibbs.
Why he's not made it very clear here,
he's
but
made the decision. Yeah, he sent Kieran Gibbs off.
Gibbs was understandably confused and outraged, and even Oxlade-Chamberlain admitted it was him, but the ref ref couldn't go back on his decision. It was a clumsy case of mistaken identity. If Oxlade-Chamberlain's relationship with Perry from Little Mix doesn't work out, then maybe his lookalike Kieran Gibbs can DM her on Instagram. Sending off the wrong player is bad, but getting sent off yourself as a referee is worse. We heard rumors of an incident that a referee got sent off, and we decided to get into a little research about this. We couldn't find any footage of this incident, but according to The Guardian, this has happened on at least 2 occasions. In 1998, in the lower leagues in England, Melvin Sylvester was refereeing a game between Southampton Arms and Hurstbourne Tarrant. According to Melvin, he was antagonized by a player and lost his temper. He said, "I was sorely provoked. I punched him several times after he pushed me from behind. He then swore, I couldn't take any more, I blew my top." The referee was sent off by himself. There was no replacement referee available, so a spectator refereed the rest of the game. Melvin got a 6-month ban and was fined £20. He still felt hard done by this though and said, "I'm furious. The disciplinary committee have got their priorities all wrong. They've convicted me of assault, but the circumstances have not been shown. They've taken the side of the player." While this was a Sunday league game, it is shocking just how bad refereeing can be. But as we'll see next, even refs can get suspension or even get fired. In an African Cup of Nations game between Mali and Tunisia, the referee blew the whistle for full time. There was a sense of confusion from players as the clock had not even hit 90 minutes. This was the Africa Cup of Nations, so cooling breaks are quite common. The referee played the game again, and the commentator said, "Soon we'll find out just how many minutes of stoppage time there'll be." However, the referee blew the whistle again, and this was for full time, but 90 minutes still hadn't gone. The game finished 1-0 to Mali, so as you can imagine, there were no protests from the Mali players. However, Tunisia were rightfully furious, and the manager came after the referee. Later on, the players were asked to come onto the pitch once again, and to their credit, Mali's players agreed to come back onto the pitch, but Tunisia refused. The Mali players celebrated as they had finally won the game again, and the referee got a suspension, of course. This was still in the friendlies though, but this next ref made one of the biggest mistakes in football history in front of 1 billion viewers at the World Cup. Croatia's Josip Simunic holds the record for getting 3 yellow cards in one game. In the 2006 World Cup, Croatia were up against Australia. Simunic initially pushed over Harry Kewell and was given a yellow card. Normally when defenders are on a yellow card, they get a bit more cautious. Simunic did the opposite. He tussled with Mark Viduka and then basically turned into a schoolyard bully. He then shoved over Joshua Kennedy and probably asked him for his lunch money too. Simunic was given a second yellow card but did not see a red card. As you can imagine, he did not correct him on this mistake. You would imagine that Simunic would keep his head down after this. Instead, he continued arguing and complaining with the referee. Simunic was 3rd time unlucky and finally given the red card. But since 2006, technology has come in and made sure referees never make a mistake again. Just kidding. Our next example shows us that technology sometimes has some devastating consequences of its own. Sometimes refs have too much technology at their disposal, and there's no better example of this than when Sheffield United should have scored against Aston Villa in 2020. Sheffield United players started celebrating, but the ref said that it wasn't a goal.
Well, John Egan was asking the question, but Michael Oliver said no.
And even the Aston Villa players didn't look so sure either. The ref pointed at his watch, which would have vibrated if it crossed the line. However, the ball clearly did cross the line. Given this was such a debatable goal, the ref could have had a look at VAR. If he looked at the cameras, he would have seen that the goal clearly crossed the line. He had the opportunity to double check, but didn't bother. But VAR is far, far from perfect either. And at number 4, we have one of the most controversial VAR scandals since its inception. In 2023, Liverpool player Luis Diaz scored a goal against Tottenham, and it was debatable whether he was onside or offside. It was ruled as offside, but was sent to VAR to double check. The video footage showed that Diaz was clearly onside. However, the ref blew Spurs a free kick and no goal was given. A VAR official believed that the goal was awarded and said check complete to confirm that it was a goal.
2D line on the boot.
Check complete, check complete. It's fine, perfect.
When he was actually confirming to the ref that the goal was offside.
On-field decision was offside. Are you happy with this image? Yes, onside. The image we gave is onside.
Left back. He's gone offside.
But now we're entering the top 3, so we're moving to an entirely different level of game disruption. These next ones didn't just ruin matches, players, or fan enjoyment, they ruined entire tournaments. And there is no other way to do a top 3 without including Ibrahim Chaibo, because FIFA themselves have described him as probably the most corrupt referee ever. Chaibo was accused of fixing almost 100 international friendly games in 2010 and 2011. But what was weird is he was not bribed by any teams. Instead, he was bribed by a Singaporean guy named Wilson Raj Perumal, who fixed games and gambled on them. Speaking to CNN, Perumal said, "I never really counted, but I think it should be between 80 to 100 football matches." It is a conspiracy theory whether number 2 was match fixing as well, but the impact of this referee's decision changed Champions League history forever. At Stamford Bridge, Chelsea were playing Barcelona and both teams were evenly matched. Michael Essien scored an absolutely amazing goal, putting the Blues off to an incredible start. Florent Malouda was tackled and it was debatable whether it was inside or outside the box. In the end, the ref went for a free kick. Drogba then had his shirt tugged by Eric Abidal and no penalty was given. In fairness to the ref, Eric Abidal brought down Anelka in front of goal and was sent off. But then Anelka chipped it past Piqué, the ball hit Piqué's hand, and Chelsea were denied a penalty for the 3rd time. The Champions League had its away goal rules, so Barca only needed 1 goal to get through and Iniesta scored a beauty at the last minute. It looked like Barcelona was going through until Michael Ballack took another shot and the ball hit Samuel Eto'o's arm. Again, no penalty was given. Ballack ran screaming after the referee and Drogba gestured to the cameras at full time that it was a disgrace. In recent times, the ref has apologized and claimed it was incompetence and not match fixing, and for that reason he did not make number 1 on the list. But what did make number 1 will truly shock you, because this is not only a referee who's involved, it also includes the biggest club in the world. While we should say that this is still under investigation, FC Barcelona does not come out looking well in what's now known as Barcagate. Barcelona is believed to have paid €7.5 million over 17 years to former refereeing vice president Jose Maria Enriquez Negreira. The club are charged with alleged bribery but maintain their innocence. They claim that Negreira was an external consultant on refereeing issues. That being said, there is clearly a conflict of interest between acting for the refereeing association and working for Barcelona. When you have Messi, Xavi and Iniesta on your team, surely you don't need to pay millions on referee consulting. But when Barcelona was winning lots of trophies, surely you would want to get rid of even the appearance of cheating and do everything possible to not blemish this record. It's not just damaging for Barcelona, but for Spanish football and even the game itself. And if you are a ref and Barcelona is offering you millions of euros, I'm not sure all of us would have the willpower to say no. But let's see what comes out in the investigation. While we wait, take a look at this video.